It is snowing in the mountains. Some areas of the high country west of Denver could get roughly a foot as it keeps falling into tomorrow morning.
Here in Denver, that moisture has fallen in the form of rain, just a little bit, though the heaviest is really to the south and west of the city. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Kyle Clark. So at the moment, the entire state is under some form of drought, and it's the first time we've been able to say that in more than 40 years. So certainly anything we can get, any form, any place, Kathy Sabin, is welcome.
That's exactly right. Did you guys see the snow stake? We're past the dumping stage and headed into the deep level on that snow ruler.
Sure, we'll take it.
Right?
Let's go.
I don't know. I was just looking for a positive there. Yeah, we've got some light rain showers around Denver. The roads and the sidewalks are wet outside right now. Heaviest showers all day have been west and south as the low has taken a southerly track. But look at Copper Mountain. It is dumping up there. They are headed for the deep with up to a foot of snow likely. We've been watching the snow in the Winter Park area all afternoon as well. The low, as it goes toward the south, is beginning to pull in some slightly drier air, but we have seen the heaviest showers to the west and to the south of Denver. And so this is kind of a trend that we're looking at for the rest of the evening. So coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to check the radar and have your full forecast.
No surprise here, state fire officials are bracing for a tough season ahead. Every year they put out a formal seasonal outlook and a plan to manage it, and today they predicted June and July specifically will have elevated fire danger. They're especially worried about the western slope and front range. The concern is coming at a time of some uncertainty about federal resources. During a briefing today, federal reps offered assurance that their firefighting staffing matches previous years, despite massive federal job cuts under the Trump administration last year. The same administration has denied disaster aid for Colorado and other states.
I would say it just makes the recovery a lot harder, more difficult and slower for the communities that are directly affected by fires. We are always going to step up and do what we need to do to protect people's property and lives. And we hope that that federal partnership comes back with disasters that we've counted on for years.
Fire officials are appealing to the public for their role in fire safety. They say some 90% of fires are caused by human action or inaction.
Colorado's first ever agricultural water policy advisor is calling the state's current drought conditions critical, saying it's unlike anything he's seen in his lifetime. Robert Cicada helps to guide the state's water rules and regs for farming. He knows it well. He's a farmer with about 2,000 acres in Brighton. You likely know his family name as well. He says historically low snowpack across Colorado is forcing farmers statewide to make difficult decisions about how much to plant and how much risk they can absorb. This year, he's cutting his planted acreage by a third because the financial stakes are so significant.
We want to really minimize what we could lose. So if by not planting a third, I'm saying, well, just think all that investment, that could be $1,500 an acre that I'm putting in throughout the year. If I don't have enough water to finish it, I'm going to lose that $1,500 per acre.
Cicada says the ripple effects of reduced crop production is going to extend well beyond individual farms. Dairy and livestock operations that rely on locally grown feed could be forced to source their supplies elsewhere, more expensive sources, if Colorado's feed crop output is short.
Just about everyone and their mother, maybe their father and their brother, got a scam text today claiming to be from a court in Denver that doesn't exist.
Yeah, the people working at an actual court in Denver, one that does exist, say they fielded hundreds of calls from folks trying to figure out if they're in real trouble. 9 News reporter Rhea Jaws looking into this.
Today has been insane. It started pretty much 8 a.m. on the dot and has not stopped.
If that phone rings one more time,
I'd probably just instinctively be like, was it a text?
it was a scam text that many people in and around Denver got. I myself got 2 of them. It basically was this document that said you owed money to the traffic division of the District Court of Colorado. So people called the District Court of Colorado.
We've gotten easily hundreds of phone calls. At this point, I'd say between 300 and 500.
Emily is a deputy clerk at Colorado's U.S. District Court.
So there's a scam text going around saying that it's from the District Court of Colorado for Denver County, which is contradictory in and of itself. Those are two different courts.
Her day has been exhausting.
We've had some people who have attempted to pay. It's been asking some people for the PIN number to their card. So we've had some people stressed out that they're unable to pay.
This is the notice that folks are getting.
Jeff Caldwell is the clerk of the court. He says they've handled scams before, but not like this.
We get onesies and twosies of people calling us about these scams. This is hundreds. I mean, it's getting more sophisticated, you know, which is scary.
And I've even had multiple people say that to me on the phone today, that it's just becoming increasingly believable.
If there's any uncertainty about these texts, take a closer look.
There would be a case number. Your name would be on it. Your address would be on it.
And if the court is texting you for more money,
We're not gonna text you if you owe money in any way.
Don't try to pay these people, and don't go to court tomorrow for it.
in Denver, Rhea Jha, 9 News.
A person now faces federal charges for a bunch of swatting calls that targeted CU Boulder and other universities last year. The Department of Justice made the announcement today. On August 25th, students and staff received a series of emergency text alerts warning of a gunman inside Norland Library. Police later confirmed it was a swatting hoax. The DOJ now says a minor was responsible. They're underage, so their name is not being released. The DOJ says they were part of a cyber criminal group called Purgatory. Investigators say they found no evidence that CU was uniquely targeted, that the suspect was ever on campus, or that there was actually plans for an actual attack.
The longest shutdown in the history of the Department of Homeland Security is now over. President Trump signed a bill today that funds much of that agency, but not immigration enforcement. DHS had been without routine funding since February 14th. Democrats had refused to fund immigration operations following the shooting deaths of 2 Americans at the hands of federal agents in Minneapolis. At the same time, Republicans refused to go along with the Democrats' plan to fund the TSA and other parts of Homeland Security without money for ICE and Border Patrol. Congress's action came right before a critical deadline. The White House had urged Congress to act this week, saying that the money that Trump had tapped to temporarily pay TSA and other workers through executive actions was about to dry up. They were worried this would start another round of impacts at airports. Republican leaders say they'll use a separate process to fund immigration enforcement and deportations for the remainder of Trump's term in office.
So we're all holding out hope that Nikola Jokic could somehow help the Nuggets force a Game 7.
Yep, currently down 5 with 2 minutes to go. Win or lose, we know that fans are going to reach for a cold one tonight, and a select few will have a brew inspired by Joker himself. 9 News reporter Colton Chavez came in today and said, I just want to be somewhere where they have beer and a TV showing the Nuggets game. And he said, go nuts, young man. Have fun.
Well, Kyle, I think one thing that Nuggets country is going to be saying is if they had a beer tonight, they don't know if their headache is coming from too many beers or from this game that we're watching right now. Completely frustrating. And at the end of last season, Jokic made a comment when the season ended saying he might be doing a few drinks of his own during the off season. And that's when Denver Beer Co. took that personally and they said, we want to create a beer for our star player regardless, unfortunately, of whether we win or lose.
Hey, how we doing? Are either of you IPA people?
If you ask Denver Beer Co.,
they both take a lot of practice.
Beer and basketball have a lot in common.
Getting a bunch of repetition on a brew system is just like playing on the court probably. You do the same kind of thing and you see what changes and then you make adjustments.
Brewer Sam Townsend says it's part of the reason they did a beer collab with the brewery from Sombor, Serbia, the hometown of Nuggets superstar Nikola Jokic, whose comments after getting eliminated from last year's playoffs is what truly sparked the collab.
But from now, like next couple of days, there's going to be a lot of beer probably.
Sam says they flew the owner of Ravingrad Pivara, Branko Popovic, into Denver just days before the Nuggets playoff game against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
We got to try his beer and he got to try ours.
Together they brewed the Denver to Sombor Cold IPA.
And it was fun to kind of ask him like, well, what is your setup like? And he had fun looking at our setup here when we brewed together.
Sam says the collaboration overseas is the only way they'd feel confident brewing a beer inspired by Denver's Star Center.
You got to go the extra mile. This is a fun little interaction between the beer world and the sports world for sure.
Some Jokic fans were quick to pass judgment.
It's a quality beer, and you can taste that. Yeah, it's really smooth. I like it.
While others savored the flavor.
The GOAT.
That's all I have to say.
For the team at Denver Beer Co.,
Yeah, it's a pretty solid one.
it's the experience that speaks the loudest.
It's not every day that you get to do something that can make that kind of a connection, especially like across continents.
Proof that you can play for the same team no matter where you come from.
You don't even have to make as many shots as you want to make. We'll still pour you a beer for sure.
And it looks like this game is coming down to the wire, and I think I can confidently say that Nuggets fans tonight are either going to be toasting to victory or drinking to defeat. We'll have to see what happens. Live outside Denver Beer Co., Colton Chavez, 9 News.